Hello, how are you? Welcome to my channel. My name is Ruth and today I'm continuing my inventory series with powder blushes. This may be a long one, guys. Just FYI, grab yourself a beverage of some sort, maybe even some snacks. You could be here for a while. Yeah, I have a lot of blushes. Going back a number of years ago, I had maybe one, going back a number of years ago, I had hardly anything in my collection. But I had maybe only one or two blushes. They weren't something that I was drawn to. And then slowly but surely, they sank their claws into me. And they just went, buy us all. And I did. Oh. So, let's get into it. We'll start with the ones that I'm keeping. So I'll show you them, do a little swatch, mini review, etc. And then we'll get on to the ones that I am decluttering and why. Let's go. Okay, one of my favorites. Let's start with that. This is the e.l.f. Duo in Pomegranate. And I really, really love this shade on me for whatever reason. The finish, etc. It just seems to go on really nicely onto the skin. And just, it's a good time. You know, my face just seems to enjoy it. There it is there. The highlighter is too highlightery for me, but what I do is I use it as a blush topper, and it is just exquisite when you do it like that. So, like, it doesn't necessarily say on these duos that they're blush and highlighter duos, so you can use them whatever way you want, or use it as an inner corner highlight, or whatever you want to do. Which is whether I love this. It is staying definitely one of my favorites. Two newer ones that came into my collection this year are from Kiko Milano. So when I was in France, I couldn't resist, bought some blushes. And I bought the shade 01 and 03. So the first one is 03 and it looks like this. Has a bit of a shimmer to it, which is always a pleasant time for me. There it is there. And then the other one is more of a matte effect. And it is the shade 01 or 10, sorry. Yeah, they're so smooth and they're just so lovely to apply. They just feel lovely on the skin. So there's one is more of a shine to it, and the other is a more, not matte as such, but kind of, I suppose, satin maybe. I don't know, it doesn't look dead on the skin or anything. It just gives a beautiful, beautiful colour to the skin. I have two from Essence. I have 40 Beloved and I have 10 Be Fitting. So these two guys here. This is this one. Kind of a peachy pink. I like it in the spring, kind of summertime. Up here. Look, I know there's not much difference between these guys. I'm very aware. And this is Be Fitting. And this is what this one looks like. Just a bit of a darker version of it. But again, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Really love them. And so super affordable. Really. They seem to get face products, powder products really well. Essence do. Next up is from e.l.f. This is the Primer Infused Shimmer Blush in Always Silly. Now, my only problem with this is the size of it. Who needs a blush this size in this day and age? Come on now, e.l.f. Let's just bring it back a notch. But I suppose maybe some people do. Can't all be like us, that just are makeup lovers and collectors. There it is there. Now it says shimmer. I don't see much of a shimmer in that. When you compare it to some of the other ones that have a bit of a shimmer in them. It's up here, but it does have a bit of luminosity, just a very slight, and it's a very pretty shade. I really enjoy it. Next up is from Tarte. This Misty decluttered this to me. Thank you so much, Misty. This is the Amazonian Clay 12-hour blush in the shade Quirky. I never had one of these before, so I was very excited to try it, and I really enjoyed it. It's a shade that I'm a fan of. I love a peachy kind of shade. Peachy pinks are right up my alley, especially, as I said, in spring, summer. And there it is. There, very similar to the Look, we're not here for, colour exclusion. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to make excuses for I'm keeping all of these. Next up is the Milani Baked Powder Blush in 05 Luminoso. Now, I won't lie, it's probably not my favourite blush in the world, but it is iconic and I like to have it in my collection to kind of compare and contrast it to others. And it's nice on, don't get me wrong, it's nice on. But it's not like, sell your soul for it kind of nice. There it is there. Lovely summer shade, lovely bit of a shimmer in it. Lovely on days that you want to, maybe not, you're going out and about and you don't want to overdo the makeup. So that kind of doubles up as a blush and highlighter for me. Next up is also from Misty. This is the Lumi Radiant Blush from AOA. And I was very curious about these. This is the shade Ravish. And this is supposedly a dupe of some of the Hourglass blushes. And I thought it was very pretty and a very nice shade on. There it is there. Quite pigmented, so you need to be light-handed unless you want a really, you know, punch of colour. But it is very pretty, and again, it's that kind of orangey shade that I like. I don't know what that is down there. Kind of shade that I like in the summer months. See, I like those peachy, glowy blushes in the summer, and I like more of a kind of a rosy hue kind of in the winter months. Next up, I think this is going to be a spur of the moment declutter, guys. This is the NARS Orgasm. It's kind of a smaller version of it. I've had this in my collection before and I've decluttered it. And now it is back again through a friend that decluttered it to me. Do I need it? I don't. It doesn't even swatch that well in comparison to others. I know that's nice sometimes we want to build stuff up, but like I'm having to go in a couple of times here. It's still not. Yeah, I'm going to let that go. There it is there. Maybe it's just it's past its sell by date. Impromptu declutter. Hurrah! Next up again was bought this year. This is the Natasha Denona Bloom Highlighting Blush. When I was in France this year, I picked this up. And this is what it looks like. And this is a mini. I mean, come on now. That's as big as any blush needs to be. You know, doesn't need to be any bigger than that, Natasha. You're all right. Again, beautiful shimmery blush. And I think it is one that... I think it is one, you know, when you look at it next to NARS, no, it's nothing. Yeah, we're keeping this. We're getting rid of NARS. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I've only used it a few times, but those few times it has been very, very pleasant on the cheeks. And the last one that I'm keeping is the NYX Sweet Cheeks Glow Creamy Powder Blush. I don't know why they call it creamy powder. I don't know, that's a weird description. This is in the shade Daydream. I love this. I love this as a blush topper in the summer. Just divine. I think on its own it's probably, I don't know, I don't love it as much on its own, but when, oh god, if it dipped in it and all, who am I? I suppose you could really wear it on its own. There it is there, but it's just, oh, it's just so sumptuous on the cheeks. Just love it. It just gives me the most beautiful, healthy glow in the summertime. Oh, love it. As you can see, I have a thing for glowy blushes. So there are all the guys that came. Yes, I know there's not much variety, but you look at it, it is what it is. Hello, how are you? Just jumping in really quickly because I completely forgot about loose blushes that I have. I have 4 of them and I'm going to go through them with you very quickly. I just realised while I was doing my highlighter video, now they were in here. Oops, daisies. First up is from Tarte. Misty decluttered this to me. I don't know what it is called. I know it is an Amazonian clay, and I also know that it is a very pretty shade. Oh, look, it's a peach. I know, we're all shocked. I have 3 here from the Too Faced Love Flushed, I think, palette it was called, and I immensely enjoy each of them. So this is kind of a pinkier shade. Deeper pink, I suppose. No, a light pink, actually. This one is a reddy kind of pink hue. Beautiful, especially this time of year. Kind of a berry tone. Divine. Love it. They just look so pretty on the cheeks, these two. Don't like Too Faced, the brand themselves. I know Estee Lauder are taking them over and Jared isn't really involved anymore, so maybe I'll look into them again. This is the last one. I had this in my deck of panning. It was the Joker shade, but god, I think that's what convinced me how much I loved them, because it wasn't actually a pain to use this. It was divine. So back to the regular scheduled viewing. Bye. Now next I have the e.l.f. Watermelon being decluttered. It's just a bit light and insipid compared to Pomegranate, which has a bit of oomph to it. This one just doesn't really have much of anything to it. Do you know, you can barely see it. Can you even see where, like, I give that a good, so that one is going. You can do without that. Next up is another Milani one. This is the Baked Powder Blush in Dolce Pink. It was a bit glittery, It's like it left more gold on my cheek than it did the colour of the blush, if that makes sense. Like you think there, yeah, that's going to be lovely, you know, punchy, but it's not much of anything. Yeah, only twist it a little bit, you can see. No, don't need it. It's gone. This one, there's nothing wrong with this. I have it in my collection a long time, and it's too big, guys. I haven't room anymore for these kind of things. This is the Catrice Cheek Lover Oil Infused Blush in the shade 10 Blooming Hibiscus. And like I said, it is a beautiful shade, you know, and it's right up my alley. But it's just too big to be keeping in my collection when I have some so similar to it. You know, some just had to be culled, unfortunately, and this is one of them. There it is there. It is pretty, don't get me wrong, and it's a fantastic price point, and if it was the only blush you had in your collection for summer, great, you know what I mean, but we just saw, you know, I have more than sufficient. Please excuse me. I know it's very sad when you have to let them go, you know. Next up, Misty sent me this as well to try out. This is the Kat Von D or KVD Shade and Light Blush, two-tone blush in the shade Sid and Nancy. And they just weren't much of anything, I found. They were both, no, we're on the wrong hand now. Very powdery, if you can hear that. You know, kind of chalky feeling. And just didn't really do much. You can barely see them. There they are there. So it's just, you know, I haven't room in my collection for something that's not making me go, ooh, I love you. Next up is a NYX Sweet Cheeks Glow in the shade Risky Business. I just didn't love the shade, the tone of this on me. I've had two others. I decluttered another one early in the year because it made my skin look like I had a bruise on it. God, I was watching that now. Yeah, it's like stuff I have, but just not quite the tone. Oh God, I don't know, because that's like that one, isn't it? Very similar. Anyway, look, no. You tried it on your face a number of times, Ruth, and you decided to let it go, so let it go. Don't look at it anymore. It is going. Let's see if that makes its way back into my collection. And that is a bronzer that somehow snuck in there. That is it. That's not too bad. 2, 4, 6 being decluttered, and keeping 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 11. Okay, whatever. Okay, I'm keeping 11. They're staying. Look, and maybe I'll call them down further as the year goes on. Or maybe not, because they're very pretty. I do love a blush now. I'm very partial to a blush now, I have to say. But yeah. Do you have any of these? Do you like them? Do you not like them? Are you going to Ruth? What are you decluttering that for? That's amazing. Are you going, oh my God, you're keeping that? Ew. Let me know down below. And what's your favourite blush? What's your favourite powder blush? Which one do you just go? You know, when you're going to a wedding or something like that as a guest. You know, you have that makeup collection that you kind of go, I trust you. I know you won't let me down on the day. You're the one that I'm wearing. What's that blush for you? Let me know down below. But that is it for this blush inventory and declutter. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I will chat in the next one. Take care. Bye. Slán.